Ever wondered what happens when a dream vacation turns into a nightmare? Join us as we delve into the mysterious disappearances of 5 individuals who vanished while on holiday.
Gather round, all you seekers of the night. Welcome to Patrick's Dark Corner.
Number 5. Robin Gardner. Robin Gardner was 35 years old. She had recently lost her job and got into a huge fight with her boyfriend. At that time, her former lover, Gary Giordano, age 50, who she had met on Adult Friend Finder, invited her on a luxury trip to Aruba in August of 2011.
And said, "Hey, I'm going to Aruba." I was like, "Cool, I'm so happy. Get out of town, why wouldn't you?" And then she said she was going with Gary, and it just became a why. Like, why? Are you sure?
Christina Jones said she was wary of who her friend was leaving with.
Well, I know that she met Gary over a year ago online. It's been a real roller coaster friendship. It's pretty hot and cold. One day nice, and the next day not so nice.
An intoxicated Robin Gardner was last seen at the Rum Reef Bar and Grill with Giordano. Giordano claims the pair went to a remote part of the Baby Beach to go snorkeling. However, friends say Robin would have never gone snorkeling.
100% sure that she wouldn't have gone snorkeling.
Explain.
She's, as you mentioned earlier, she's somebody that's concerned about getting her hair messed up, getting her makeup messed up. At that time of night, I would imagine, being in Aruba, she's had a couple of drinks, going to be getting ready to go out for dinner at that point, go out for the night. She typically goes to bed quite early, 9:30, 10:30 at night. So it's just not her. It's just not her to go out and snorkel. I can't see her snorkeling. I can't see her going in the water much more above her waist. She prefers to sit by the pool, have a drink from a waitress, and when she gets hot, take a dip into the pool, cool off, and come back out. Now, being in Aruba, certainly it's beautiful there. The beaches are beautiful. She might go into the water for a dip in the water, but I know for a fact she's not going out into deeper water. She's just not that comfortable.
Giordano claims that they went into the water, but the currents were so strong that Giordano went back to the beach, assuming that Robin was behind him. When he realized that she wasn't there, he ran to get help. Giordano tried to return to the U.S. just days after reporting Robin missing, but was arrested by Aruban authorities due to inconsistencies in his story. He was eventually released due to lack of evidence. It was later discovered that Giordano had taken out a $1.5 million insurance policy on Gardner just days before their trip to Aruba. Robin Gardner has never been found, and the case remains open. Number 4, Charles Horvath-Allan. Charles Horvath-Allan is a Canadian-born British national who went missing whilst hiking across Canada in 1989. Charles had been visiting his father and godfather in Ontario before backpacking across Canada when he arrived on May 3, 1989 in the city of Kelowna in British Columbia. He had been staying at the local hostel, the homes of friends, and the tiny tent town, campsite, and RV park. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police launched a search for Charles after his mother reported him missing after not getting an expected call from him. In 1992, Charles's mother, Denise, received 2 anonymous tips.
Oh my God.
Denise? What's wrong?
This.
Dear Mrs. Allen, I seen your ad in the paper looking for your son. I seen him in tiny tent town May 26th. We were partying and 2 people knocked him out. But he died. His body is in the lake.
The lake and surrounding areas have been searched, but Charles has never been found. In 2010, the Serious Crime Unit of the RCMP of Kelowna listed Horvath as deceased. Number 3, Madeleine McCann. In May of 2007, a 3-year-old British girl, Madeleine McCann, disappeared while on vacation in Portugal with her family, resulting in the media frenzy.
Was abducted from our holiday apartment 9 days before her 4th birthday.
On the night of May 3rd, 2007, Madeleine's parents, Kate and Gary McCann, left Madeleine and her 1-year-old twin siblings in their ground floor room of the resort so they could dine with 7 of their friends at the resort's Tapa restaurant, which was across the pool from the room. The parents came back to check on the children every half hour until 10 p.m., when Kate McCann went to do a check and discovered that Madeleine was missing. Several sightings of a man carrying a child around the resort at the time Madeleine went missing were reported, and several people were interviewed, but no one could be connected to Madeleine. Portugal was searched heavily, and many people were interviewed. In 2022, Portuguese authorities named a German man as a suspect in the case. German police believe he is likely responsible for McCann's disappearance and death, but have not brought charges against him. Madeleine McCann was never found. She would be 21 years old today. Number 2, Brittany Drexel. In April of 2009, 17-year-old high school junior Brittany Drexel of Rochester, New York, was anxious to join her senior friends on the spring break trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. There was only one problem. Her mother was having none of it.
She could go to Myrtle Beach, and I had told her no, and I also told her, you need to talk to your father. I know he wouldn't have allowed her to go, but, you know, she still needed to talk to both of us. And, you know, Brittany, she liked to play both of us. If Mom said no, Dad said yeah.
On April 22nd, Brittany told her mother she was going to stay at a friend's house, but instead, she snuck off to Myrtle Beach with her friends. During the trip, her friends were taking heavy substances. Brittany was not interested and spent most of the trip alone at the beach and at restaurants. On April 25th, around 8 p.m., Drexel left her friends at the Bar Harbor Hotel on the beachfront to walk 1.5 miles to another hotel, the Blue Water Resort, to visit a longtime friend who was staying there. Security cameras at the Blue Water Resort caught Drexel entering and leaving the building at around 8:45 p.m. Throughout this time, Brittany had been texting her boyfriend in New York, but then
something strange happens. She stops responding to his messages.
I knew that something was up about 10 to 20 minutes later, but a half an hour later was when I really began to start freaking out. Me and Brittany talked every 10 minutes on the phone. I knew something was wrong. I knew that there was a problem of 30 minutes going by without talking to her.
An hour later, John is worried. He threatens to tell her mom the truth about where Brittany really is if she doesn't text him back.
I called Brittany, and there was no response. So I texted her, and I said, if she didn't get in contact with me, I was gonna call her mom. And I was gonna break the news to the family that she was down in South Carolina. A couple minutes went by, she didn't text me back, didn't call me back.
Meanwhile, Dawn Drexel, Brittany's mother, is just returning home after having dinner with a few friends when she gets the call from John.
Police began searching for Brittany the next day. They tracked her cell phone pings to an off-the-track swampy area full of alligators, wild boars, and snakes. The FBI announced they believed that Brittany had been abducted and killed shortly thereafter. In 2016, a jailhouse snitch claimed that he had seen Drexel at a stash house owned by his friend Sean Taylor. He claimed that he had seen Brittany with a black eye being violated by Sean's son, Tim, and at least 6 other men who were present. He claims he saw Brittany run away from the home, but she was quickly recaptured and pistol whipped by Tim. Brown claims he had gunshots and saw a body being carried out in a rug. In May 2022, police arrested Raymond Moody, a registered sex offender in the area, on charges of murder, kidnapping, and first-degree criminal sexual conduct. He pleaded guilty to all charges in October. Drexel's skeletal remains were recovered a week later in a wooded area in Georgetown, about 33 miles from where she originally went missing. Number 1. Natalee Holloway. 18-year-old Natalee Holloway was on a trip to Aruba with other graduating classmates from Mountain Brook High School in Alabama to celebrate their graduation. But Natalee would never return. On May 26th, 2005, Natalee and her classmates arrived in Aruba for their 5-day trip. The trip was unofficial, and the chaperones were not following the graduating students very closely. All the students partied wildly and drank excessively. So much so that the Holiday Inn that they were staying in told the chaperones that the school would not be welcomed back next year. Nevertheless, Natalee seemed to be enjoying her trip.
Who's our special guest today?
It's Hootie.
Hootie Hoo Holloway.
Hi, friend. Just, sitting in the back, cruising over to my place, and you're doing an excellent job. And I just want to say happy birthday. You look like a new woman, and I'm sure you feel like one too. And the beach was a blast. I had the best time of my life.
The night before the group was to return home, Natalee was partying at Carlos and Charlie's nightclub with friends, where she danced with Dutch native Joran van der Sloot.
We had been to Carlos and Charlie's, the bar, at least 2 other nights. So it was like, of course we're gonna go there one more night. It's our last night. So I remember seeing Joran van der Sloot at the casino at our hotel. That was the first time I saw him, and I remember chatter of him. Like, he's so cute, who's gonna hook up with him. He was at Carlos and Charlie's, 1000%.
Holloway was last seen outside the nightclub in a car with van der Sloot and his 2 friends, brothers Deepak and Satish Kalpo. The next day, the graduating class was set to head home, but Natalee was nowhere to be found. Police and the FBI quickly became involved in the case as it became a media frenzy.
I'm asking this in the name of my beautiful, intelligent, and outstanding daughter, who I haven't seen for 36 days and for whom I will continue to search until I find her. Thank you all so much.
The island of Aruba was searched extensively for Holloway to no avail. Van der Sloot initially denied knowing Holloway, but then changed his story to say that he had taken Holloway to the beach because she wanted to see the sharks. Van der Sloot told Fox News that he had sold Holloway into sex trafficking, but later took back his statement, saying that he had made it up for money. Van der Sloot was caught on an undercover video that aired on a Dutch television show. In the video, van der Sloot claimed Natalee had a seizure at the beach and died before being thrown into the ocean. He later said that these statements were not true. On May 31st, 2010, on the 5th year anniversary of Natalee Holloway's disappearance, Joran van der Sloot was arrested in Peru for killing a young woman named Stephanie Flores. He was convicted of the killing and sentenced to 28 years in a Peruvian prison, where he remains today after he completes his sentence in Peru. He'll be extradited to the U.S. to be charged with extorting Natalee Holloway's family. Natalee Holloway was declared legally dead in 2011. In 2023, van der Sloot was extradited to the U.S., where he gave a detailed confession of Natalee's murder as part of a plea deal in the extortion case.
We walk along the beach.
Do Deepak and Satish get out? Come with what happens to them?
Deepak and Satish leave. They leave. They go back to their home. I assume they go back to their home. They get in their car and they leave. I'm actually with Natalee walking along the beach. I find a space before we get to the Marriott Hotel, where I lay her down. We lay down together in the sand, and we start kissing each other. I get her to kiss me again. We start kissing each other, and I start feeling her up again. And she tells me no. She tells me she doesn't want me to feel her up. I insist. I keep feeling her up either way. And she knees me, she ends up kneeing me in the crotch. When she knees me in the crotch, I get up on the beach and I kick her extremely hard in the face. Yeah, she's laying down unconscious, possibly even dead, but definitely unconscious. And I see right next to her there's a huge cinder block laying on the beach.
When you say cinder block, looking at the walls of this place, is it like those?
The exact same cinder blocks. I see a huge cinder block laying on the beach. I take this and yeah, I smash her head in with it completely. Yeah, her face basically, you know, collapses in. Even though it's dark, I can see her face is collapsed in. Afterwards, I don't exactly know what, you know, I'm scared. I don't know what to do, and I I decide to take her and to put her into the ocean. So I grab her and I half pull and half walk with her into the ocean. I push her off. I walk up to about my knees into the ocean, and I push her off into the sea. Yeah, after that I get out. I walk home.
The cases of these 5 individuals highlight the dangers that can lurk even in seemingly idyllic vacation spots. While some disappearances remain unsolved mysteries, others have been linked to tragic circumstances, including accidents, foul play, and even exploitation. It's important to remember that while vacations are meant to be enjoyable, it's crucial to prioritize safety and be aware of your surroundings. By taking precautions and staying informed, you can minimize the risks and ensure a safe and memorable trip. If you or someone you know has information about any of these cases, please contact the appropriate authorities. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye.
In the darkness, where secrets hide, there's a corner where the truth resides. Gather round, all you seekers of the night. Welcome to Patrick's Dark Corner, where things come to light. Patrick's Dark Corner, uncovering the mysteries, diving deep into the dark.